Hey guys, Jason Quinn here. I'm here with Dr. Paul, and to be honest with you, it's quite unique spending all my time in the kitchen. I came across this really unique product in an Uber ride, of all things. And it shouldn't be a secret that I love myself some cannabis. And the truth is, I think that for the most part of my life, it's always been recreational. And I think it's been known to everybody that this is a product with serious medicinal properties. And it really wasn't until I saw Dr. Paul's that I saw a company that seem to be approaching it with actually the consumer's medicinal uses at its core. And I think that when we're talking about these pen cartridges, I think that the general market, the consumer, has this feeling that you walk into a dispensary, you see a cartridge that says Blue Dream, and you think to yourself that this manufacturer took beautiful Blue Dream flower, put it in a rosin press, squeezed it together, the juice that came out, they put that in the pen, and here it is for you to smoke. And I learned that that is not the case, really, or not the case at all. And I think that is something that Dr. Paul's has embraced, the fact that we're not replicating the flavor of a strain. We don't care about the strains. Instead, we've used the terpenes that naturally occur in cannabis, but also in other fruits and vegetables. And Dr. Paul has found groups of terpenes that, when used in conjunction with each other, can produce certain benefits. And I told them from the first time that I met them that it's a very, very cool product, but it requires a decent chunk of someone's time to truly explain what this product does and how to use it. So for me, and I'm not really a representative of the company, but I'm passionate about it, and it's helped people that I know in my family. And what I think is so exciting is it really is the perfect gateway for a first-time cannabis user, someone who's curious about how this product works, about how this plant can help. And instead of strains, what you guys did is came up with reasons to use it. 5 different reasons that you might want to use cannabis medicinally. You have Epiphany, which I would say is like kind of what I use before I'm writing menus, something to get inspired. You got the Xanadu, which is the one that I think at its core has helped the most people that I know. That's a sleep aid. And then Big Sur, which is for kind of going out into the wilderness, not being cemented to your couch. And then Heal, which is primarily CBD. Yeah. And that one, my mother-in-law, who had some tendon problems in her foot, has sworn by. And then Tsunami, which when I try to describe it, I go, okay, well, that's the one that gets you high. That's the way I describe it. But that's the one where I think you can feel it the most. But I think of this as a lifestyle brand. I think of it as a person who doesn't want to own flower, doesn't want to own paraphernalia, doesn't want to smell like cannabis, and something that's discreet, that you can have, that you can travel with, and frankly still be professional, but still use this incredible plant for medicine. And I think a lot of people who are using this product just to get high probably don't care about yours, even though it would help. That's really not what I think of, at least, as your market. This isn't the cheapest product on the market. It's not the most expensive either, but either way, I think that you've truly created something that can really help people. And you don't have to use it, but I want to make sure that every person in legal marijuana states knows that this is available.
Yeah. Yeah, so, our company is unique in that it came from a background in science. And I was doing research as a professor at major medical universities, and we actually got very interested in the endocannabinoid system, how your body makes cannabinoids, and they play important roles in many different diseases. And so I'd also been a lifelong cannabis user and was always sort of fascinated, how can this plant have so many of these supposedly amazing health benefits? And then you start to look at it as a scientist and you realize, actually, there's some really interesting stuff there. So, the way I like to put it is that the cannabis has hundreds of molecules in there. And the one everyone focused on for many years was THC, which is a cannabinoid that is a psychoactive cannabinoid that most people know weed for.
Yeah.
Turns out that there's hundreds of other molecules that are incredibly important for the effects you'll feel, for how your physiological responses will occur after taking cannabis, and those molecules that cause all these effects are called terpenes. And essentially our company has been completely interested in these terpenes. If you look at terpenes from a chemist's standpoint, they look like medicines, and they have been used historically as medicines in other cultures, different essential extracts of oils and different plants. But basically, we took advantage of all the wealth of literature, scientific literature, on terpenes and what they actually do. And so we were able to formulate unique products that would have an intended effect every time. That's the biggest issue I see when saying, I want to go and get my blue dream. And the problem is, it's 9 out of 10 times it's not blue dream.
Yeah. And that's the thing that, when we were at From the Earth, we were talking about people, oh, is it an indica or sativa? And really, you're looking at them going, okay, well, first of all, it's neither. They're all hybrids. We really didn't, you really didn't set out to make an indica or sativa. It probably doesn't matter. What I believe has happened here is with the phase 2 compliance, we've moved from parts per million to parts per billion of potential pesticides, which is incredible that you guys have been able to have organic oil that has that it passes a parts per billion test as far as no pesticides, and being in a situation where you don't care at all what there are enough people replicating the flavor profiles of certain buds. Instead, approaching this, because if I am a first-time user and I'm walking in, I have no concept of the effect of Blue Dream, Girl Scout cookies, Jack Hare. How are these going to affect me? I'm truly just at that point taking Bud Tender's recommendation. So at this point, to have it so clearly, oh, look at this, there's a moon on it. Like, if I want to sleep, this is the one that's going to help, This one has a big fucking wave on it, okay? Like, this is going to hit me hard,
That's actually Mavericks.
It is, of course, Mavericks, And then we got the Epiphany with the gears turning. I mean, this is truly, for me, the type of thing where someone who right now, curious about cannabis but doesn't own any right now, should walk into a dispensary, buy all 5 of these cartridges, 1 pen base, maybe 2 pen bases, whatever, and be in a world that you can interchange. And I'll be honest as well, I'm a very skeptical person when it comes to cannabis. I've had a wide range and have felt not a massive difference in effect. And if you even just look at the color of the concentrate inside these different boxes, it's wildly different. And the taste is different, and the effect is different, and it's tangible. And I'm the person who's like the most skeptical on that. So that was really what wanted me to get involved. I looked at this, I go, okay, it's probably a little bit of a gimmick. It's probably just like every other pen.
And there are a lot of companies going this route now. Unfortunately, I call them sort of the Me Too companies. And as a consumer, I'd say, look behind the company. Is it real research? Is it really based on science or not? Because there's very few companies are.
You can have a pen cartridge that says arousal.
And
you think you're going to give it to your lady and you're going to get some special loving. And it can be, and she can just get a little high and pass it on the couch, So that can backfire on me. But bottom line is, for me, like, I'm not a person that is invested in this company. I just am passionate about it. And I think it's a very, very exciting approach to cannabis, truly medicinally. And really, like I said earlier, I just believe everyone needs to know this exists. You don't have to use it. You don't have, but someone needs this for help, and they don't know it yet, maybe. But I've given it to people who aren't cannabis users, and it has absolutely rocked their world, changed everything. My own mother, who was so anti, now sleeps with the Xanadu right next to her. And it's my dad's telling me it's so funny to hear my mom just puffing away when they're going to bed. But hey, it works and it helps. And the heel as well. My mother-in-law, who's a nurse, it's very important for her to not be mentally altered. And she was loving the fact that she could feel it tangibly making her foot improve without being incomprehensible. Without not being sharp.
That's right. So and the only thing I would add that why our company is unique is that we also are about to launch studies on terpenes and how they affect cannabis in humans. And no other company's done that to date anywhere.
It's incredible the medicinal advantage that you have having been in the field.
Well, that's sort of that was the idea. It's like, let's take advantage of having that background to really learn more about this amazing plant. And so we're basically, if you carry Dr. Paul's in your dispensary, stay tuned. And if you're interested in getting involved in research studies, they're going to be available, and I think they're going to be really exciting. And we totally want to do this as a community and share it with the public and share what we learned, and hopefully we learned something interesting.
And there's always going to be the people who are trying, like, this brass knuckles, this heavy hitters, this illusion of, you buy our pen, you're going to be the most messed up, you're going to feel the gnarliest effect. And you know what? You're not, in my opinion, interested in that consumer. I mean, obviously, as a business, we want to sell as much as you can, but at the end of the day, if someone chooses that they want to have something that intimidating, I say like let that happen and have the people who are maybe a little bit more serious and professional be interested in your product that you have.
Yeah, I mean, we always viewed it that the people who really love cannabis a lot tend to use vapes only as sort of an adjunct therapy. I call it.
Yeah.
It's not like even like our product like Tsunami, which is 90% THC almost, which is very strong for a concentrate. That's not enough for a hardcore cannabis user even.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I mean, my feeling is, we're targeting this for consumers that want to learn about safe, reliable, always get the same quality every single time product.
And that is a massive factor in this front. Going in and buying a prepackaged eighth of 20 different flowers is such a roll of the dice. It's such a roll of the dice. And this is consistent. And even if, for instance, like the supply of oil you changed, you're still putting terpenes into the point that the core THC oil, as long as it's very high quality, is the least important factor of what's going into these cartridges. The thought behind it and these blends of terpenes to create these effects together. I forgot what it's called. It's the entourage effect of these things working in conjunction with each other to produce something bigger. I think that's very, very cool.
Yeah, that's the whole idea there, is that each terpene molecule can have its own effect, and if they don't add up, they multiply, and that they all synergize to work together to create different physiological responses, and that's called the entourage effect. And at its core, that's why cannabis has been used as a medicine for thousands of years. So I just wanted to say thank you, Jason, for doing this, and we're always excited for new consumers to be exposed to our products, and especially someone with your background in cooking and being creative scientifically to how you cook. So I'm glad that you're.
I never really thought that I would ever even be involved, even making a video about pro cannabis, but like that is how special I think this product is. And it's really just something that I would love the people that I know who don't currently use cannabis but do suffer through other things. I'd love for them to give this a try and see that this is quite a harmless plant and that it has incredible properties, and that when used right, it can be something that perfectly integrates into your day and doesn't necessarily affect your ability to perform or be professional, or you're not gonna lose your job tomorrow if you start if you have a little bit of heal tonight.
In fact, you might get a raise.
So I know that in the future we'll be doing a couple promos and demos and stuff like that at some local dispensaries here in Santa Ana. I definitely am excited to go and just kind of share my love and passion for this product. So if you have been supportive of the restaurant and myself, make a point to come check it out. I'd love to talk to you more about what it is that this magical company does. And it's great to have Dr. Paul here. He flew down just for this.
Thank you.